rolling.
Hey, technically not rolling because this is all what like compute, right? I only say that because I just saw a movie that was about 8 millimeters, so it just stuck in my head. Not the 8 millimeter movie from Nicolas Cage, but the 8 millimeter camera style. Ethan Hawke was the actor.
I'm gonna take my fucking headphones off because this is bothering me. You can hear me fine, right?
He's perfectly fine. He sounds
Yeah.
beautiful.
Back away from me. I'm getting rid of the camera.
I think it was my phone that was doing the echo, so that's why I put on the headphones.
All right.
I'm used to it. Hold on. I'm sorry. Can people just randomly come and see us?
We're not streaming. We're recording. I'm saying
Oh,
there will be an audience in the future.
okay, so they can see like this idiot just thought he was streaming live. Okay, I'm sorry.
But welcome everybody. This is our first podcast. We don't even have a name for it. Probably will by the time this goes up. But yeah, we might even figure it out by the end of the podcast. I tend to ramble, so I'm gonna throw it back to you. But just real quick, I'm gonna go into I guess, the reason why I asked you to do the podcast in the first place.
Yeah,
Two reasons, real quick. The first one was because I feel like I know a lot of useless information, and I bore Jenny and you and my family with it. So I'm like, I go on YouTube and research the Roman Empire. So clearly, someone else out there is interested in it. So I'm like,
it's there already.
you know what I mean? And somebody might actually have use for it. And then the second part was, I legit think it's kind of a midlife crisis type thing. Because we're almost fucking 40. Both me,
Almost.
Jay, my co-host, and me, we just turned 39.
Yeah.
So just getting older and just thinking about, brothers or whatever, but like you and Zay and my boy Kareem and Keenan, and like y'all are kind of like the that found family thing, like my brother,
Yeah.
so to speak. So I'm like, well, this is like my family, like my initial family, mom and dad, getting older. So I need to try to find ways to reconnect with, my brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
I hear you.
and I know that you're on the same wave with me with a lot of the Instagram. So I was like, hey, if I'm gonna, spit my useless information and like catch up with a friend, it might as well be with this dude who, by the way, audience, known each other since we were like in high school, like
Yeah.
freshman, sophomore year.
It's funny you say that. Not fun. It's just that every time I think about when we met, I know it was in McHugh's class. I don't know if you remember McHugh over the Simpsons, and we were
All right,
just talking about Simpsons.
I
But
remember that's what, because like I don't know if you like, I did actually, like, I kind of knew you, or at least like I had seen you before in
uh-huh.
like freshman year, but yeah, like
Yeah.
we didn't really like link up until McHugh's class.
I don't even know if you remember it. Sophomore year, I was so souped sophomore year after we were friends, right? And I came into back into high school sophomore year thinking like, all right, I don't know, like I was dressing differently because my parents are so South American. They had a different hairstyle, a different everything, and then I don't know. I was just souped to just come and be like, yo, I'm gonna show Kilvin. I didn't even know if you were still in this school. And I was just like, and I walked into the cafeteria like, yo, I'm gonna say hi to this guy, like, cause Killing was cool. And I got a buzz cut, a shape up, so different from like
Word.
the bob that. And then and I had no glasses either. And I walked up to you and like, what up, Kilvin? And you didn't know who I was, and you were like, oh, it's Jamie. And I'm like, yeah. And I don't know. That was like the highlight of my year that day, like that day, cause it was. I think freshman year wasn't that good. Yeah, it wasn't that good. And plus, it was like coming from like with immigrant parents. It was just, even though I am Americanized, it was just a very different. Public school was different coming from a grammar school, Catholic school, because it was more. Everyone, I guess, knew each other, but I didn't know anyone in the school. But I just remember that. I'm always gonna remember that. Just walking up, and then years later, I just went like, "This motherfucker didn't even remember me." It was like years later. I think even in college, I was just thinking one day, I was like, "This mother, he didn't even remember who I was." I just like, I fantasized that whole day. Like it was such a great meeting in my head. But then years later is when I realized, man, he was like, oh shit, this kid. Hey, what's up? And like it was just funny. I remember that. He'll never leave me, but I'll always remember that.
Oh man, I have like a good story about like real quick about a chick that I dated. Like real quick, it was a friend of mutual friend of ours, Jasmine, and she set us up on a date. I went on a date with her. At a later date, I was at it was for Jasmine's at her for her birthday, and then I was like to our friend, I was like, "Oh hey, what's up? My name's Kelvin." She's like, "Yeah, we went on a date before."
That's gotta suck for her, obviously. What? She didn't.
It's not it's not just you. I'm like really as
That's funny.
I realized how fucked up that like because I did that like so much. Like I've got a bad memory, and I've forgotten people and just been like, "Yeah, no, I don't know who you are," and I'm like,
That's happened.
"Why?"
That's happened once to me. You know what happened? No, me forgetting someone completely. It's very hard. I can remember faces, even at work. Like when I'm at like, can we talk about what we do for work?
You can if you want it to be out there.
So, so I'm an EMT. So when it's like a revolving door everywhere you work, EMT. So you'll work from one hospital to even from private company to hospital, hospital. You even get to meet. But anyways, I half the time as I'm in the ambulance, I see EMTs come by. They're like, and I've obviously left an impression. I'm like, oh, look at this, and I sell it, and then some of my partners go like, who is that? I'm like, I have no clue. Just yesterday it happened, and this guy he comes up, he goes like, it's been a long time, my friend, and I'm like, hey, I know, man, how you been? And he's like, just living life, with the divorce and losing the house, and I'm like, I spent time listening to this guy about, and I feel so bad that I don't remember, like it didn't hit me, but but I remember his face. I remember faces. Only one time I ever forgot faces. It was in college, and I was registering for a class, and these two girls come by, and they say, "Jamie, how you been?" And I'm like, I don't know. At the time, I guess I didn't have the not the knowledge, but I don't know, to be like, oh my God. I was just like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. And they're like, yeah, we know you. I'm like, no. And then they went like, we know Kilvin, Xavier. And I'm thinking like, who the fuck are these girls that I don't
Who
like?
said
How do you
you?
know who are like? Yeah, who sent you? And they kept saying names, and then I realized like they were a grade below us,
Mm,
and they knew someone. I forget which girl who was in our grade, but they knew her, and that's how Joanna. That's it. They
okay.
knew Joanna, and that's how I knew them. But I completely forgot. I didn't know who they were, to be honest. Even to this day, like their faces escape me. And then they realized it, and then they got mad because apparently we were all very close,
I mean,
and I felt so bad. But
no, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm bad. Like it's happened a few different times where like I did something with
dog,
apparently, and he was like, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No."
like no, don't. That it does suck. Now, every time someone does say hi or in a certain way, I just go with it. As I just feel bad because I don't know. I just feel bad. I just go like, "Oh, hey, how's it going, man?" And I just make sure not to um
You know that
find
might
myself.
like a certain what do you call it? That might be a certain personality trait, because like to kind of like going with it to like I don't want you to feel awkward, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
pretend because I think with my wife Jenny, like I will do that a lot where like not so much the that she is nice to play along with it, but just that she's nice in general. Whereas if I'm on my way to do something and I don't want to talk to you, I'm like, yeah, go away. Like it literally just happened the other day. I forget where I was going. I think to pick up lunch or something. Actually, I went to get some money at the bank, and then went around the corner to pick up lunch, and there's this big intersection near where I am, and there's people that stand on the corners, not necessarily begging, but sometimes might be like, "Oh, we're with the church for
Oh, okay.
they saints, whatever the fuck, you know." Oh, do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior? And like just this week, walking through that intersection, some guy is like, "Hey, look at this guy. Here's the fashion saying, hey, talk to you a little bit." I just waved him off. I just kept him moving. But like, he doesn't have that. Like, she'll give people time of day. I'm like, no, why are you being?
It just yeah, it depends. Like one, I want. I'm glad you mentioned Jenny for several reasons. It's very weird to hear my wife.
Yeah, it's weird to say it.
Oh my God, hold on. God damn it. You know what I hate?
Yeah.
When people don't listen to me.
You're talking about somebody that's in your area.
Right now, I knew something was going to happen, and I said, I'm doing this to be preemptive. And no one listened to me, right? And now something just happened. And I'm sure you caught my reaction, which was kind of shocked, anger, like I knew it. I can't was. Anyway. And it's funny because how can I explain this? It's funny that it happens because I don't want to say it's her. I just want to say it's the universe for me. It's the universe knowing that I'm doing something, and it's like we're gonna fucking disrupt it anyways. Because I don't know if we can curse, but I curse a lot.
You can curse if you want. Like it. It'll.
Not crazy amount, but cursing. Yeah. So it's just I don't know why. I don't know what I do, but anyway, what was I gonna say? Hold on a second. I forget what I was gonna say. Oh, in regards to Jenny, she is funny, and it is shocking that she said my wife. I can't even fathom saying that.
Oh man.
Um,
Fucking weird, man. That's this thing I was telling you about. Like this, I think I'm like kind of going through a semi midlife crisis.
nah, really?
Well, not like not in any like crazy kind of
I want a bike,
way,
but
but
not like a fast bike. Just a bike just to get to work and back in the summer.
oh
Just
yeah.
because I like the drive through the park that I can take. And then a bike would just, I think it's just more of a scenery thing for me. And I think a bike would just be cool because I'm not cycling. Screw that noise.
After my bachelor party, which we took in Thailand, and and for those who haven't been in Thailand or Southeast Asia in general, they're very big on like the motor scooters.
Yeah,
So
we
yeah,
were
we
driving those and they were
rented.
amazing. Yeah,
Every time we go there, we rent motor scooters, and I feel like everybody that went on that bachelor trip came back and was like, "I think I want a
no
bike
bike.
now."
I was talked out of not getting a moped here in New Jersey. And oh, can we say where we're from?
Well, again, I mean, I can always bleep it and edit it.
Okay.
How much
So,
do you want out there? It's up to you.
all right, New Jersey's fine. It's big state, but I was talked out not to getting it right. And then I forget when we came back from Thailand, but when we came back, I was like, I want to drive a moped. It's so much fun. It's so amazing. Like you have no idea. I don't know what the rules and regulations here in the States, but I was talked out of it, told I was crazy by everybody.
Well, it's
And
to just jump in. It's
yeah,
a bit different with mopeds, and like I currently, like I'll say where I am. I'm in New York, and anybody who has been to New York, the New York metro area, you know that the little moped scooters are fucking everywhere, and they are annoying as shit.
that's exactly what happened here.
They don't really have regulations. Like I think with motorcycles, you need like actual license and stuff like that. You need to be on the roads. Mopeds, I think, are in this weird bike, motorcycle, not a car kind of area. So that's why they're so annoying because they're literally everywhere.
Yeah. No, here the moment I was told no, like a month later, I don't know who decided we're gonna buy a bunch of motorized bikes and scooters and put them all over this city. They did it. And now everyone was driving a moped, everyone had a motorized bike. And then, when I said I wanted to get one, it was like, oh, you just following the trend. It was like, really? I would have been
You would have been hesitant.
the reason the trend happened. But everyone stopped me from getting a moped around that time. And then everyone started getting mopeds. Everybody started getting mopeds. It was crazy.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
it
know.
was, but then everyone wanted to be like, "Oh yeah, you just want to follow the trend." I wasn't following no trend. I wanted to do it myself, but I was following the Thailand trend. I miss Thailand sometimes.
Is Jersey like that with the mopeds? Because like I said, I know New York is crazy with it.
I don't obviously I don't know because I don't have a moped, but I assume it is because where I'm at, they drive mopeds every so often. I do see them. I don't really see cops stopping them because they I guess have actual crime that they just stop, moped drivers. But where I work, there are no mopeds. No one,
It
I
would
don't
be
think dares to drive a moped around there.
it would be a pretty funny. I don't know if it would technically be considered a high speed chase, but like on a moped or whatever, right? Like cops with like the
I would feel confident.
campus things. Remember the little tricycle campus mobiles? I remember my
Yeah,
bike. You can get like a fleet of those to go after like the moped people or something.
I would be confident if I was in a moped because it's like I would just go somewhere where there's a lot of buildings and like barriers. And even if the cops did get through, they have to come out. And I'm already on a head start on the moped. I could just dip it and bounce. I think I'd be confident in invading police officers in the moped. Not that I would try, but if it so happened that I was in that situation, I would be like, I'm going to this college. I'm going to your college because around there, I think you could just get lost really quick.
You really could because it's a city college, so you can dip in and out like
Uh huh.
buildings pretty easily.
Yeah, and there's a certain part where it's I know you make a right and then it looks like you could fit cars through like a pathway, but it's not. It's more like for walking. I would go in there. I don't know if you know. It's like across the street from like the car parking.
Okay.
And across the street, it's like two buildings, and in the middle, it's like it's big enough for a moped if you want to go through. I don't know if you remember. I was just there recently, so that's why.
I think I know what you're talking about. It just might be like is it like a parking lot or something like that?
It's not a parking lot. It just looks like it's across the street from a parking deck. And then across the street from the parking deck is two buildings. In the middle, you have like, I want to say 30 to 40 feet in between each buildings. So I just see people, and there's pathways. They like, there's grass, but there's pathways. So I always see people like walking in and out. And I would just go through there. The point is, I would go through there, and then I'm sure I can just find my way out. And the cops would be like, "Oh, we're kind of stuck." And it's like, "Ha, like you think I'm going this way? I'm in a moped. I can make a right." Like it's just, I just feel in a moped in that area, I can just get away. I think it's dumb. It's a dumb idea, but I do feel like I can just get away in a moped from a cop because it's a city, and I know most of the city. So it's what is it? It's hubris. It's hubris in my escape uh tactics, I feel. Like, right? Is that the right word?
Nah, no, you got it. You got it. Hubris.
The word of the week right there.
That's a
Calendar for that. Hubris.
man.
What's
But really quick, just so we can talk about this a little bit. If you have an
what's up?
idea for the podcast name,
I was gonna say,
well, I had two. Now I only have one. I legit
is it still
forgot what the first one was, but the second one, I think it kind of ties into that. Well, I was just talking about like getting older, trying to reconnect, talk about all the shit that I know, all that kind of stuff. So it's I think I have the band right, Smash Mouth.
wow, I like that.
So you know the song "The Years Start Coming and They Don't
We
Stop."
all start coming. Bend to the rules and I hit the ground running. Did
Yeah.
it make sense not to live for fun? Yep, I know.
So the I want to name the podcast "The Years Start Coming."
Well, I like that. Yes, I'm going to say yes because the only thing that came into my mind, I was watching, they had this French trivia that they did in New York that I wasn't invited to apparently. And there was one group, well, one crew, and they called themselves Way, No Way. And I just found it funny because it was Ross and Chandler's band group. But I like that one better because I think it fits more. The years start coming because Jesus, they don't stop.
There you go.
I like it. Yeah, I like that. I would vote for that one. The years start coming.
Boom.
Damn,
See,
so that means we have to kind of talk about like what it's like getting old, right? Or like not talk about getting old, but reminisce of like back in the day in comparison to today's stuff.
exactly. That's what I feel like it's gonna come up. You don't have to like make it a thing, but I just feel like as we like as we talk and as we are getting older, I just think naturally is we're just gonna start talking about old man shit and like talk about stuff from back in the day.
Like beanies.
Damn, like the years start coming and they don't stop coming.
Stop coming.
Shit that's changing now, and fucking Trump got reelected, and like the shit. And like we had 8 years of Obama, and then Trump, and then Biden, and now it's Trump again. Like, how the fuck did those?
You know what? I'm at a point. The fact that he won again, I bet that he won. I bet he won. I knew he was gonna win because I swear to you, let's face it, like the way I saw it was, it was. I don't want to say it was racist people's Obama. If that makes sense. It was like, that's our guy. That's our guy. He's gonna fight for us type deal. And it wasn't everybody. I don't want to say, yeah, it wasn't every white person. Trump, president. It was more like a certain amount of people, a certain group of people that were like, "That's my guy," and that's why he won. I knew he was gonna win. And then you have a lot of a lot of minorities, Hispanics even voting for him. So, and I don't follow politics. I really wish I did because the way they explained stuff to me, I was like, Trump did all that.
Yeah,
Doesn't sound too bad. I honestly just once I heard Trump say one thing that I'm gonna hold them on is the no taxes on overtime. Cause man, that's like I'll tell you this much right now. He better otherwise I'm gonna that's gonna be my talking point to anyone who says, yeah, Trump is like, yeah, what about that? No taxes on overtime. Where's that going? That's an easy fix. That's a like let's get this going. Let's get this going because I don't want to pay taxes anymore.
yeah. Like I think, like to your point, I do think this might be like a little bit of a hot a take. Like I think that yes, that maybe the first time Trump was, like you said, was racist people's Obama. This second time, at least what I heard from like some people, and you talk about like this time, like you hear like a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Black people vote for Trump. I think that yes, the first time, and maybe even half of the people this time, he was racist people's Obama. But I think the other half were just that they didn't that what you just said with like the taxes and like his promises to like fix the economy and put more money in your pocket, there are some blacks and Hispanics that are kind of like, well, he's not that racist.
I mean, I'm not 100%. I can't be quoted on this. I'm not 100% sure, but honestly, someone said, "Find me something that says proves that he's a racist." And you really can't find anything. Like he doesn't say anything disparaging on, black people or Hispanic people or any minorities. Or he really doesn't. And I've tried looking for it. Just I spent like an hour going. Let me see if I can find something that Trump says. Sure, he said that disparaging comment on women, but he's a misogynistic, right?
Yeah,
And but it was just that. Not that that isn't a bad thing, but it's like, all right, but where everyone's talking about the racism thing. It's like, is he racist or are people that follow him just racist? But he does say certain things like we're gonna like not closing up the border. I mean, I just heard Mexico's kicking out a bunch of Hispanics out of Mexico already. Yeah, because there's a lot of Venezuelans, a lot of people that are coming from South America going to Mexico. This is just a little bit from what I've heard, so I'm not to say that I'm an expert, but apparently a lot of South Americans are going to Mexico, and Mexico's is like, look, we love to help, but you guys got to get the hell out of here. Like they're kicking them out. They're doing like their version of ICE over there, and they're just sending them packing too because it's like, I'm sorry, my dog is. Can I show like
go ahead.
he's just in my face like the whole time. I don't know if you saw him clearly, but the whole time he's
I
just.
before, yeah, but
You're not a human baby. Don't come at me because I'm on the phone.
no, but that I think this time it's like the reason why the reason why I think he won this time was because before people were kind of like he sounds racist at first. So
He
let's
does.
like
He
he
does.
says shit that makes you go, oh, you can't say that. But then like you talk to him for a while and it's like, all right, I know what you meant, but like don't say it like
It's
that.
the way he says is yeah, the way he there was a comparison of him and Obama Well, I don't know if like you should find that and put it into this clip. Like if you're editing, because I'll send it to you. My brother sent it to me. It is funny. It's just Obama is he has a good voice, man. Like it's just you hear Obama and it's like I need to listen. I don't know what he could be reading how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but that man just sounds like I'm gonna listen to that. That's gonna be the best sandwich in the fucking world. So he was explaining how Osama got killed, and I was just like, damn. But it was just a comparison. Do the comparison. I'm done with talking that because I can't really explain it. But
tonight we give thanks to the countless intelligence and counterterrorism professionals who've worked tirelessly to achieve this outcome.
Died like a coward. He was whimpering, screaming, and crying. And frankly, I think it's something that should be brought out.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead.
Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation against that compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan.
He died like a dog. He died like a coward.
After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
It was something really amazing to see. I got to watch it.
How did you watch this?
Well, I don't want to say how, but we had absolutely perfect, as though you were watching a movie.
it was just Trump cannot speak at all. He was not meant for public speaking whatsoever because the way he talks is just funny.
You know how he talks? I was just watching the Vince McMahon
He
documentary.
got all the guns.
Like if you watch wrestling in the '90s, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Mr. McMahon on Netflix, like check that shit out. It's fucking good. But if you watch it, they talk about when Trump was on WWE, and you look at his fucking rallies, and I'm like, bro, he's doing the fucking WWE promo. This is the shit that The Rock would do. Like when he's at his
Really, I need to watch that.
when he's at his rallies on the mic, he's cutting a fucking a pro wrestling promo, 100%.
You see, I didn't even know he did wrestling. To be honest, he was on WWE.
Yeah.
Let me see the president. You see, that just bothers me at that. You see, as fun as entertaining as he is, thank you. Is it still clogged? He's not talking to me right now. If he's upset, I don't get how he's a president. I mean, I understand how he's a president, but it's just, I mean,
Yeah, it's because like I think people like didn't like him and kind of were on like a bit of a moral like a high ground like
I think they were just,
Obama, because I think after Obama like we were in kind of a good state, so you can kind of point at Trump and like I said, it would be like, dude, you can't fucking say that. But like I'll be honest, Biden was fucking underwhelming, and so now you have like you said. He's coming in. Trump is saying that tax cuts, just because you say, I don't know if I want to say it because I might have to bleep myself, but because like if you say some stuff like we would say
like,
back in
yeah, like Trump.
like
I just think,
like you might get canceled. Somebody will post it on Instagram and you fucking lose your job. And he's coming back and saying like, actually, that's okay. He's basically the guy that's saying, I know what you meant. I know that these people are saying that you can't say that, but I know what you meant. And I think that's what got him reelected this time.
I mean, I want,
Hot take. Hot take.
I'm not gonna say no. I agree, but I just feel he's the representative for people to be malicious towards their prejudices. Because like for instance, I don't know why this is a funny like I'm not gonna say their names because that's a HIPAA. But I was picking up a patient and it was this old dude that fell, right? Old guy that fell, nice guy. Really like we come in, introduce myself, and he's like, oh, okay. You think I'm gonna be okay? I check him out, you're gonna be fine, don't worry about it. I think his son in law is there. Son in law is cool as hell too. Cool guy. So I talked to him. My partner's checking the patient out. I'm talking to the son-in-law, telling him what hospital we're going to, what I suspect. But obviously he has to get checked out by actual doctors. I'm just making sure he feels good. Then his daughter comes in, and this is what I mean. I think this is the person that voted for Trump because she comes in, she sees me. My partner, she's Puerto Rican, but she's white. Like she passes for a white person, like an Italian or like Portuguese, something like that. And she walks in, she looks at me, and she looks at her father. She goes like, "Oh, you can't leave without your hat. You've been wearing it all day." And we all kind of looked at each other like that's a weird thing. But you know what? People want weird things when they're trying to go to the hospital, right? So the son-in-law says, "No, honey, he has to go. You know, he did fall on his head. He was bleeding, but he was stable." So we're trying to hurry up, and she goes like, "No, no, no, it's important. He has to wear his hat." She puts on a Trump 2024 hat, and then as she puts this on, it's like, "Yeah, because we have to represent." And then she looks up and looks at me like she's expecting me to be like, "No, bitch, you gotta take." Like, I didn't care. I looked at her and I looked at my partner, and we kind of laughed. And then she went like, and then she just kept. I have never met such hard eye contact from a random woman ever in my life. But this, she was a white one, an older white woman. I would say in her mid 40s. When she put, as she was putting it on, like making sure it was perfect on the set, she just looked at me and just smiled like she wanted some kind of reaction. And I'm like, you're the type of person that voted for Trump. Even if this guy voted for Trump too, I like that Trumper over your Trumper because at least he's nice to me. Whether it's fake or not, at least there's some kind of like mutual word. Like there's no mutual combat at the point, but you want to start something right now. Like I didn't really care, but I think that's the type of Trumper, and I think that's why Trump got elected because he's the voice or he's the icon for I'm prejudiced because and Trump is going to give all the reasons why I'm prejudiced rather than me be honest and say I just don't like Hispanics or black people or something like that. It's just he's their voice and that's why I think he won.
No,
And then on top of that, he was saying some good stuff for his minority, so I wasn't even gonna I'm not even gonna lie.
100%. Because you were like, that's exactly what I was saying. I think there's two different Trumpers. There's the
Yeah,
like, I don't like Asians, I don't like blacks, I don't like Hispanics or whatever. And that's like, it's kind of like what's the saying? All rectangles are squares, not all squares are rectangles type of thing. But then there's the people who are like, what he said, he shouldn't have said that. But, he said he's going to bring back manufacturing jobs from China or whatever. So they're like, I can kind of get over him making kind of a cringy Asian voice or whatever the fuck.
and I need to see. I need, we need to. You know what we should do also? I don't know how. Ali, please stop. Thank you. We need to be able to like, for instance, you just said that part where he made a cringy. Did he really do that?
Feel like he did, or he did some shit where he went like ching chong bing bong. He did some like real like just outlandish racist shit.
No, 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 that's messed up. Never mind. I thought he was like, no, okay, that's no, yes, that's racist as hell. I thought he did. I don't know, like something like,
Because definitely China. Because like when he was president, he was like mad, like he was going at China hard and like Korea hard. So I feel like he made some like real like not okay kind of like.
no, I can't forgive that. No, he's on his own on that one. I was gonna be. I thought he said like, I don't know.
No,
I
because
can't think of a good example, but
remember during COVID he called it. I don't know if it was him, but maybe but it was somebody. It might have been him. Like disclaimer, like what do they say? Allegedly or whatever.
yeah.
Allegedly, this was Trump. But somebody said during COVID, it was like it's the Kung flu.
No, they did it. Wow.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? There are reports of dozens of incidents of bias against Chinese Americans in this country. Your own aide, Secretary Azar, says he does not use this term. He says ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all. It comes from China. That's why.
I feel so bad for laughing, but wow.
But that's what I'm like. He says stuff where it's like, that's not okay. It's kind of funny, but it's not okay.
Yeah, I mean, man, Trump. What are you like? I'm not defending him. Again, it's not that I don't like him. I just don't. I don't care for it. But damn, no, I can't defend that. That's no
Oh, and
like.
that might jump in the comments. My wife is from Taiwan, so don't come at me about Asian shit.
And I'm not. And by the way, I'm not Asian either.
Yeah, he's Hispanic. My
Yeah.
back.
Oh, I get that. No, but I like the Asian thing. I get a lot. I get because of some places I go. Some people think I'm Filipino. I don't get it. Yeah, I get that a lot. I had one Filipino lady just started talking to me in I think it's called Tagalog, and I just said, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not Filipino." She goes like, "Yeah, you are." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I am Hispanic. I'm from Ecuador." She goes like, "No." She calls someone like, "Doesn't he look?" I'm like, and then she said, "Yeah, he does." I'm like, "Well, I'm not." But to go back, nah, man, I can't defend Trump on that one. Trump's on his own on that one. I can't. Damn, he said, "My God."
No, but what we need though, I think that like I said, we had like the luxury of like a post Obama to I think and not go with the cringy guy, even though we liked what he was saying, but now I think that like I thought Kamala was okay, but I don't think that we have enough of an alternative.
Just
I think that's the main problem that it was either Kamala who like fucking 2 months before the fucking election, you drop her in and you expect people to be like vote for her now, even though you only
yeah.
have 2 months really to know her. And then it's like this fucking two-party system. You only have to pick from one or the other. Like we need better options, I think.
I think. I mean, again, as someone who doesn't follow politics, doesn't really know anything about politics, the one thing I do realize is I think politics is turning kind of into like an entertainment thing rather than politics. Like, you know what I mean? Like for people like me, I find Trump entertaining. I don't think I should find my president entertaining. I think I should be like, he has this. I
Yeah.
can believe in this guy, but the fact that this guy is the president of the free world makes me go like, this is where we're at, man. We got this guy who was on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, who was on WWE, and it's like, really, that's our president. That our every other country has guys that have gone to like great schools, have great degrees, and our president, sure, he's a great businessman, but like, how is he a great businessman? Is he a good great businessman or is he a shady great businessman? To which I don't even know, but still, from what people say, he's a shady businessman, and it's like I think we're at a point where it's like it's not politics is more popularity. What's more entertaining? What's more like what makes you just laugh and go like, haha. That's why like again, I kind of like Trump, but it's just I shouldn't be my type of person shouldn't be why Trump is in the office, because he's entertaining. It should be more like I would say you and my brother that follow politics like that, you guys should be the ones that, your votes really matter because you guys know the issues and know like what's important. Me, like if it's not on TMZ or on TikTok, like, and I think that's a bad thing because I figured Kamala, right? That's how you say, or Kamala. So I think everyone was saying her name wrong,
I want to say Kamala, yeah, because everybody.
Kamala.
I hope.
But I mean, I heard I didn't see it again because I don't follow, but I heard she wrecked Donald Trump in the debate that they had.
My God, it wasn't. She was so good, but that's why I was like, we need better options. Like, what happened was fucking Biden, like, dragged his ass up there thinking he was gonna win, and then he did his first debate and was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get mopped out here, and then he was like, all right, Kamala, you got it. But then it was like only 2 months left, and then so they got the one, and then Trump was like, fuck that. I'm not doing no more of these. I'm just gonna wait it out. I only got like another month left until
But
the.
so he did get wrecked.
I personally think that she wrecked him because that was the one where you remember the debate where he's talking about they're eating like the fucking dogs and cats and shit.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cat. That's the only TikTok I know.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that was that debate. It was like, yo, she fucking washed him, and so that's why I'm like, if we gave like better options and gave her some actual time, she would have had like 4 or 5 of those where she's mopping the floor with him.
But you see, the little that I did see, even before Kamala and Trump, they're not talking about the issues anymore. They just like when they ask like, so the education system, like, yeah, this guy right here, back in the day he did, and like I don't really, that's not the question. Like for someone who doesn't follow politics, it worries me that it's politicians aren't talking about the issues. They're talking about how to smear someone's good name, and it's like you guys aren't all great. You're
Well,
not right. None of you guys are great. We just want to know that you guys are behind the issues. Make us feel that you're behind the issues rather than just, yeah, this guy did this guy did that. Like, I'm sure all of you guys have skeletons. Like, look at what happened recently, with, not recently, well, yeah, Diddy recently, and before him, Epstein?
oh yeah.
Epstein? Epstein? Like,
Mm.
anyone who's in power, you guys aren't that great, but at least just make it seem.
I think it's two reasons, at least here in America, because one I'll just go through, which is ironic. We're kind of doing a little bit of this with like the fucking Instagram podcast and streaming, but it's a little bit of like this. That somebody said this was like a good little. I'm butchering the quote or whatever it was, but people said that like back when we were watching, or someone said back when we were like watching stuff like Back to the Future and stuff like that, so like the flying cars and like all that kind of futuristic shit. It's because the idea was that energy and electricity was going to be free flowing and free moving and just be everywhere, and just you could
Okay.
power your car with electricity and it will fly and power your house and power the walkway. It'll be like the Jetsons, and you'll just be able to transfer energy everywhere.
Okay.
And that's not the case. That's not how it works. And it's a little bit harder to transfer energy. But what it is easy to transfer and transmit is information. And
That's true.
that's where we are right now. This is the future that we didn't see coming. We thought that we could transfer energy easily and we'd get
Okay.
cars and all that shit. But no, me and you can have a deep conversation and transfer this information, our thoughts, out to the world like that. So I think that's a little bit of it where we see these politicians adjusting to that landscape of like being able to like touch and be like the public, like the audience, the constituents, being having like such direct contact with them like they never had before. But the second part is like we always liked our politicians to be entertaining, right? Because
Uh-huh.
go back to your Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was an actor, and he's kind of like unanimously on the Republican side viewed as like the best fucking president, right? And George Bush, like you remember, like what were people saying about him? Oh, he's like someone you could grab a beer with. I want a president that you can grab a beer with, or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And then flipping it back to Obama, we were just saying that fucking Obama, you could hear him read the ingredients to a chicken salad sandwich, and like I just like it's not necessarily the same as entertaining maybe or grabbing a beer, but there's something that at least in America that's what you want. You want you want your dad to be your friend, basically.
But I mean, I just like I when I think of Obama, it's like I wouldn't talk the way I see it. Like if I were to meet Donald Trump, I'd be like, "What's up?" If I saw Obama, I would be like, "Sir," like I wouldn't. I just saluted right there. I didn't even mean to do that. I did. It was a natural thing for me to go like, "Sir," like how.
But there's the thing of though that even though you show Obama respect, even when people meet him, they always have stories of you treat him with respect because he's your dad, but he always ends up being the cool dad. Because Aziz Ansari had a story about like it was on his comedy special where he went to the White House, whatever, and his friend was like holding her purse, and like when they took a picture, and he was like, "You can put your purse down. We got pretty good security there, guys." You know, because he's your cool dad. You respect him, but he's still you need that kind of a it factor. Trump is just the funny part. He's not the responsible part. But we always want someone who's kind of cool, kind of entertaining.
Yeah, but to a point, I agree. Yeah, you're right. But to a point, because I wouldn't trust Trump in anything. Like if I met him in person, I'd be like, I would think I would have to take care of him too. Like you're cool, but I'm not gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust your security guard because Like he has to make sure you don't do like you just don't look or don't give off that vibe of like I'm good with you. At least with Obama, it's like not I don't want to say intimidated. It was more like he got it. He has it set. He knows what he's doing. Like if we were in a situation, he'd be like, "I got this," and I'd be like, "I'm gonna follow him." But if I was in a situation with Trump and he was like, "I got this," I'm like, "I'm gonna trip you because you're gonna fall first, and that guy's gonna come after you. Me and your security guard are out." But if it was with Obama, I'd just be like, "What? Yes. What do you need me to do? Yeah, stand here. Here, I got you. I will stand right here. I got this." Like I would feel more secure with that guy. But I swear,
Yeah, he was a unique blend because it was the fucking like we what you want ideally what you want in your president, which again, I probably wouldn't have voted for Reagan, not too big into a lot of the Republican kind of ideals, but to a point, he had a bit of the, dare I say, Obama, where he had the charm and
I need to watch Reagan. Yeah,
he had the wisdom, right? Because it was like the policies were completely you were a lower class person, but like as far as like the economy or whatever, like Wall Street and shit like that, like he did that part. Like if you weren't a corporation or whatever, you were probably going through it. But other than that, like the economy, when you look at fucking like
didn't he have something called Reaganomics?
yeah, Reaganomics. It was it's like trickle down like economics or whatever. So companies and shit like were hiring everybody or whatever because he was giving them such again like just like you. I'm not like I'm not a poli sci major, so I don't fucking remember and know. But I just know like on like the tax side, on the economic like conservative side, that's where Reagan like that's why a lot of Republicans like him because of his financial economic policies. And then when you watch some clips of him, that's why I'm like you get the charm and the wisdom because he's passing the policies you like and he's kind of fun to watch. You're looking for both. Right now, what we have with Trump, kind of like what we had with Bush, is it's all charm, no wisdom.
Yeah, yep. Because I swear this guy, like, I don't know how. To be honest, like I really wish I could talk to a like diehard Trumper and be like, explain to me politically, because he is funny. It is entertaining. I'm not gonna take away any of that. That dude is hilarious. Like, it's just the way he talks for me. It makes me laugh. But like policies, right, and laws. Explain to me how he's gonna make it better, because
I don't.
and you see, that's what I'm trying. Like, that's what bothers me because it's like
I
then we
think there
shouldn't
will
be
be who actually like pay attention to like fucking C-SPAN and know like the tax policy, but I want to say your vast majority don't fucking know.
right. They can't be because it's just no matter who, whichever Trumper I talk to, it's like they have no idea and they're more on like he's trying to. It's always the same topic. Like, oh, he's trying to protect the Americans. Like, okay, I get what you're getting at. Fine, but what else? Like, all right, the border, sure, but you got immigrants coming from up and down. The majority of the immigrants that I know of are European. So, like, I don't get why the border of Mexico. But okay, maybe it's because maybe they're coming through there. We could use that, but just come on, man. That has to be more than just that. That can't be the whole issue in America.
He's charming. He's charming because you and
He's charming to
I know the
racist.
reality of like illegal immigration because I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble or whatever. But like you were saying, like European, like I knew someone like a girl who came over from Russia. I'm more than sure that she overstayed her visa. Ironically, got married to a Mexican guy and
I
got
was a citizen. Look at that.
and got her citizenship. So I think that like the optics are where are our borders, Mexico and Canada, right? And so if you don't know much of anything, you look at Canada, that's kind of nice. People probably aren't coming from there. Mexico, looks kind of rough.
Yeah.
That's where the illegal immigrants are coming from, but. Like I just said, like if you look at the data, it's like no, those usually are. It's more coming from like people who fly in through like
Yeah.
national airports and like get their passports checked and just overstay their visa.
Yeah. But like, and that's the only issue they all ever talk about. And I get it. It's not like, it's not an issue, but that can't be the only issue that everyone talks about. There has to be like the educational system. Like these kids are stupid. These kids are just dumb. Like it's shocking to see. Like like look, and even in my profession, when we have to convert, like it's a simple conversion from kilograms to pounds. It's shocking to see. It's like you just went to EMT school. How do you not know this? And they're like 2.2 multiply. And it's just funny to see some of these kids, these 20-year-olds becoming EMTs, and it's like I don't even trust you as a partner right now. Like, oh, so when I have to train someone, it's like, oh my God, how are you? Like, it's very rare where it's like I'm impressed with, and I'm not even a smart person by any means, but it's very rare when I'm like, you can add, yes, oh my God, you can like, because there's one guy when we count respirations. No, let me do pulse. So, you have to have a watch. So he asked me, how should I count the pulse? I'm like, how many beats per minute? And he goes like, oh yeah, but how do I get there? And I looked at him like, you know how to find a pulse? He was like, yeah, yeah, okay. Find the pulse. I start counting. I was like, oh, okay. And then he said like, yeah, but I could stop at 15, right? Like, I don't, what do you mean? Like, I can stop at 15 seconds. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, stop at 15 seconds. Do you? I'm with my partner. He's doing the vitals in front of us. So he stops at 15 and then he goes like, all right. I'm like, what you get for a pulse? He looks at me and with a straight face, he says 19. I'm like, per minute? He was like, yeah. And then he goes, oh, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. 38 per minute. He was like, yeah, yeah, I forgot to, double. I'm like, double what? Like I had 19. I'm like his pulse is at 19, is at 36 or 38. And he goes like, yeah, like it can't be. All right. Cause like the guy was excited. So his like, and we have pulse oxes to be sure. His pulse was at 102. And I asked him, how did you get? He goes like, yeah, because 15 is half of a minute. So 15, I counted 19, half. And I'm like, 15 is not half of a minute. You mean it? So you did a quarter. He goes like, no, it's not 25 seconds. I'm like, you're done. Like, you're done. I was like, oh, I got so upset. I got like, you're done. I was like, you're done, bro. I was like, I told my partner, I'm like, yo, like he thinks a quarter of a minute is 25 seconds. And he was so positive about that.
Oh shit!
And I was like, okay. And I'm like, you're good, bro. Like, I'll do the narrative. Get out, like, go help the nurse. Go help the nurse. And we went to the ER. He went to go help the nurse, and I was just like, I
Oh,
think he was like 21 or something, and I was just like, this guy can't be. He's joking. He can't be serious.
yeah,
I refuse to train him after that. I
yeah,
don't care if anyone gives me shit. I'm like, oh, you should have stayed. No, no. At 21, you shouldn't be thinking like that.
I think I was it was just a while back, but a little while back when I was actually I texted somebody like I need half of it, but like instead of writing out half, like I don't like to write out HALF or whatever because
Okay,
and also because for those who don't know, like I went to school for engineering, so fucking numbers 1/2. It's easier for me.
perfect.
Half. I text this shit to young people and they will be like 1 and 2. Like what? You not fucking know what you don't know what half? I'm like,
One
no,
and two.
what's this new math that they're teaching that these don't know?
That's funny. That's funny.
Like
You
they
get text.
like holy shit, like a quarter is 25. What the fuck?
It was so funny that he said that. And I was just like, I was done with him for the end of it was near the end of the day. I was just done with him. I'm like, okay. And because what I knew after that was every EP, which is electronic patient care report, I had to recheck again. Because I'm not going to lie. Like, I would check it, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt that he knew how to count, right? And I'm not talking about engineering math either. I'm talking about you check a pulse for 30 seconds, you multiply that by 2, there you go. You can do quarters. You can do 15 seconds and be quicker because it makes sense. You can do that, but that's times 4. But I got upset because it's like, now I got to check every EPCR because I'm signing off on all of these. And this kid was just a mess. Like, apparently.
Lost Jake. Now I know why people do some of their podcasts live. Because when it's live, then your co-host can't drop out. Wait, hold on. Jay's texting me. He's gonna join back in the podcast. Oh man, his phone died. So I'm just gonna end. I'm gonna tell him that we're gonna end the podcast. Hold on. Let me see if I can call him and get him on back on the pod. Oh no, if his phone died, then how is he texting me? It's kind of funny. Like he texted me that his phone died. Like, wait, how are you texting me if your phone died? It took me a minute to realize that he texted that his phone died. Okay, but that was low key kind of funny. He texted me, and I'm like, nigga, how are you texting me that your phone died? Yeah, how are you texting me that your phone died? This is from your number. It's not even from his girl's number. Oh man, that was kind of fun. Thinking out loud. And since I have a podcast, that's kind of the reason why I have a podcast, because I think out loud. But that is something, I guess, if we're going to use any of this, that's something that, anybody in the comments, do you not necessarily think out loud, because a lot of people will just call that talking to yourself. But I read, or I'm lying, I didn't read it. It was probably like a freaking Instagram reel. But I heard somewhere that if when you think you hear a voice, that's like not a condition in the sense that it's a bad thing, but it's just like how there are some people that are, like myself, who are engineers, right? Grow up to be engineers because they can visualize things in like 3D space in their head and say like, oh, this is the front of the truck, this is the sign, underneath is where the piping goes to the engine and exhaust and blah, 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 right? So there are some people who can just visualize that kind of stuff. And it's one of those things, as I got older, I realized, oh, not everybody can just see things that way. And so I think that's probably tied into the fact that, one, where I'm actually kind of, I think I might be kind of good on the solo podcast because I'm just rambling. But I think that the rambling, my ability to be able to do that, be able to ramble, be able to just kind of think out loud, is because when I do think, I hear my thoughts as my voice. If I'm making a sandwich, right? Maybe I think that there are some people out there that are just like, they see the bread, they grab the bread, they spread the mayo, they put down the, turkey and cheese and lettuce, however you make your sandwich, right? I don't know if you put meat first or cheese first. I don't really care. We can maybe talk about that in a different episode. But some people just see it and do it, I think, and don't have their thoughts verbalized. Whereas I am like, oh, there's the bread. And then grab that and open it up, just spread a little mayo on. Like, I think these words. I'm not just like feeling like these thoughts or actions or whatever. Like, I'm verbalizing it in my head. I hear myself saying it. And it's not like I'm talking to myself, because I would think that more so if I didn't have this camera in front of me, what I'm doing is basically talking to myself. But the reason why I think I'm able to do that, I'm sorry, that was disgusting. But the reason why I think I'm able to kind of do this is because I have that thing in my head that whenever I think about anything, Yeah, whenever I think about anything, except for right now, because it's all out loud. But if I'm thinking about something and it's not out loud, I hear this lovely voice that you guys are hearing now. I'm clearing my throat and super fucking raspy, so I don't know how much you would want to hear this voice, but nonetheless, this is the voice that I hear. And not everybody does that. And so I think that gives me a leg up on stuff like this, creating content, because I'm just constantly fucking talking to myself. But yes, Jay did not hit me back. We're like at an hour 10. And like I said, I want to go eat and enjoy the rest of my Sunday before my wife gets home. So I am going to end the podcast on behalf of Jay, myself. I don't know if I said, my name is Kay. Say the year start coming with J and K. But on behalf of both of us, thanks so much for tuning in. This is our first freaking podcast. Like I said, I do this kind of shit anyway, where I'm just basically talking to myself. So putting it on wax. Maybe some of the stuff that we talked about today was entertaining, you know? Yes, once again, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Kids running wild with dreams. Back in the day we had those crazy schemes. Now it's grown-up tales with old best friends. Living life loud, yeah, it never ends. Backyard summers, echoes of our youth. From golden years we speak the truth. Laughing till dawn, we reminisce. Making memories, can't resist. The years start coming and they don't stop flowing. Back to good times, yeah, we're always going. With the squad, every story is golden. Living it up.